Relationships are one of the biggest influence points in your entire life. They don't just affect how you feel, they affect how you think, how you show up, how you make decisions, and how heavy or light your day feels. The right relationships elevate you. They stabilize you. They support your peace and strengthen your confidence. The wrong ones do the opposite. They drain you, confuse you, destabilize you, and quietly erode your sense of self over time. And here's the truth most people never fully learn. Who you let into your life determines the quality of your life. Not fate, not luck, not the universe, not the vibe, just cause and effect. The inputs you allow shape the outcomes you have to live with. In this video, we are going to talk about 11 ways to choose people intentionally, not emotionally, not nostalgically, not out of fear or being alone, but clearly. Because relationships should add to your life, not cost you your peace. Number 1, you don't attract people, you allow them. A lot of people say, I attract toxic people. But toxic people don't target specific individuals, they approach everyone. The difference isn't who shows up, the difference is who allows them in. You control who gets close, who gets your time, energy, personal information, emotional access, and your trust. Your life doesn't change when other people change. It changes when your standards change. Allowing is a choice, even when it doesn't feel like one. What makes this hard to accept is that allowing feels passive, not active. It doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like something that just happens. But every time you respond, engage, explain, excuse, or stay longer than you should, you are allowing access. And access is the currency of relationships. When you raise your standards, fewer people qualify. Not because you're too much, but because you are no longer willing to entertain that which costs you your peace. Allowing is where power actually lives. Once you see that, you stop asking why certain people keep showing up and start noticing why they're able to stay. Number 2, relationships should add, not complicate. Here's one of the most practical standards you can adopt. If someone makes your life heavy, they are not your person. Healthy relationships make your life feel easier, calmer, lighter, safer, cleaner, and more stable. Unhealthy relationships make your life stressful, confused, drained, dramatic, unstable, and anxious. This isn't about labeling people as good or bad. It's about evaluating impact. The question isn't, do I care about them? The question is, does their presence improve my life or damage it? A relationship that constantly complicates your life isn't deep, it's draining. Depth brings understanding, draining brings exhaustion. And many people confuse intensity with intimacy because intensity feels stimulating in the short term. A real connection doesn't mean everything is easy or conflict-free. It means problems feel solvable instead of destabilizing. You're not constantly recovering from interactions. You're not bracing yourself emotionally. The relationship doesn't consume more energy than it gives back. Number 3, confusion is a red flag. Clarity is a green flag. You should not need to decode someone. You shouldn't need emotional calculus, intuition gymnastics, or constant reassurance to understand where you stand. Confusion is not romantic. It's not chemistry. It's not depth. Confusion is a consequence, and it always has a cause. When someone sends mixed messages, hides things, says one thing and does another, keeps you guessing, makes you anxious, or leaves you overthinking, that's not connection. That's chaos. Real connection feels clear. Clear feels calm. Calm feels safe. And safe is sustainable. Your nervous system craves predictability. When someone is inconsistent, your body stays in a low-grade state of alert, trying to anticipate what's coming next. That's why confusion feels anxious instead of exciting once the novelty wears off. Stability doesn't mean boredom. It means safety. You know where you stand. You don't have to perform, guess, or chase reassurance. And when something feels unstable, it's usually because being honest with yourself would reveal a truth you don't want to accept. Number 4, energy doesn't lie. You learn more from how people make you feel than from what they say. Your nervous system is constantly collecting data, and it gives cleaner feedback than your hopes or fantasies ever will. Pay attention to how you feel around someone. Do you feel relaxed, understood, respected, valued, calm, seen, steady, appreciated? Or do you feel tense, unsure, anxious, drained, invisible, defensive, pressured, or small? Your body notices patterns long before your mind wants to accept them. Trust that information. You can override logic, ignore red flags, and rationalize behavior, but your body keeps score. Tension, fatigue, dread, and emotional shutdown are forms of communication, not weakness. When someone constantly dysregulates your nervous system, it's information. Your body is responding to patterns your mind hasn't fully acknowledged yet. Trusting that feedback isn't dramatic, it's intelligent. Number 5, the bare minimum is not a prize. When someone waits forever to text back, shows occasional care, gives minimal effort, is only respectful sometimes, apologizes only when caught, or offers only bare bones attention, that is not exceptional. That is not rare. That is not something you should accept. That is the floor, not the ceiling. Consistency is the real marker of emotional maturity. You don't need to convince someone to show up. If it feels like a reward to receive basic decency, something is off. When someone treats basic decency like a favor, it puts you in a position of gratitude instead of equality. You start lowering expectations just to avoid disappointment, and that slowly reshapes your sense of worth. Consistency isn't exciting at first, especially if you're used to the unpredictability of the highs and lows. But stability is what allows trust to form. You shouldn't have to earn kindness, effort, or respect. Those are entry-level requirements. Number 6, standards are filters, not demands. Your standards are not requirements you impose on others. They are filters you use to decide who fits into your life. Standards protect you from emotional chaos, manipulation, dead-end relationships, inconsistency, disrespect, and people who want access without effort. And they naturally attract stable, responsible, honest, emotionally mature people. Choose according to your standards, not your loneliness. Standards don't require enforcement speeches. They work quietly. People either meet them or they don't. And when someone repeatedly fails to meet your standards, the information is already there. Lowering standards to keep someone close doesn't protect the relationship. It sacrifices you. Standards aren't about controlling behavior. They're about deciding what behavior you allow in your life. Number 7, relationships should never cost your peace. Here's the rule. If someone constantly disrupts your peace, the cost is too high. Healthy relationships come with respect, clear communication, steady effort, emotional safety, basic reliability, kindness, alignment, and boundaries. They don't come with excuses, confusion, volatility, pressure, guilt, or manipulation. If someone makes you feel that your peace is negotiable, they are not a partner, they are a problem. Peace isn't fragile, it's valuable. When someone repeatedly disrupts it, your system stays in recovery mode instead of growth mode. You spend more time managing emotions than living your life. Healthy relationships feel grounded, even during conflict. You may feel challenged, but not destabilized. If peace always has to be negotiated, The relationship is too expensive. Number 8, you are not here to fix people. You are not a life raft. You are not a therapist. You are not responsible for someone else's healing, maturity, stability, or readiness. You cannot love someone into responsibility, support them into consistency, care them into emotional regulation, or sacrifice yourself into being respected. People change when they want to change, not when you want them to. Your job is not to fix people. Your job is to choose people who don't need fixing to treat you right. Fixing feels purposeful, but it quietly erodes self-respect. You start orienting your life around someone else's potential instead of their reality. And potential is not a relationship. It is a projection of what if instead of what is. Choosing people who are already capable of meeting you where you are is not being mean or picky. It's proactive. You are allowed to require emotional adulthood without apologizing for it. Number 9, compatibility is about lifestyle. Feelings matter, but they aren't enough. Compatibility isn't about intensity. It's about alignment. Values, habits, maturity, communication style, priorities, emotional regulation, goals. Attraction creates connection. Compatibility creates longevity, and you need both. Chemistry gets attention. Compatibility determines outcomes. Shared values and aligned habits reduce friction in daily life, and friction is what wears relationships down over time. When lifestyles clash, love turns into negotiation. When lifestyles align, love gets to deepen. Stability isn't boring, it's sustainable. Number 10, let connections end when they end. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. Letting go doesn't mean you failed, they failed, or something went wrong. Sometimes a connection serves its purpose and completes its season. Staying past the expiration date is how you turn something meaningful into something painful. Release people with dignity, including yourself. Holding on past the natural endpoint usually comes from fear, not loyalty. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of letting go of a version of yourself tied to that relationship. Letting something end cleanly preserves its meaning. Dragging it out is what creates bitterness. Endings handled with honesty protect your future relationships from carrying old weight. Number 11, healthy love makes you more you. The right relationships expand you. They support you, ground you, encourage you, and bring out your strengths. Unhealthy relationships shrink you. If someone makes you feel like you need to be less expressive, less emotional, less yourself, that's not love. That is a warning. Love that requires you to shrink is conditional. It teaches you to self-edit instead of self-express. Over time, that creates quiet grief for the parts of yourself you've had to put away. Healthy love doesn't demand performance. It invites presence. You don't become smaller to be chosen. You become more yourself because it's safe to be. So why does this matter? Because you matter. Choose people who make your life better, not heavier, not more complicated, not more dramatic, not more confusing. Better. Relationships are not about intensity. They are about impact. And when you choose people who add stability, encouragement, wisdom, laughter, honesty, loyalty, and peace, you build a life that actually supports you. I have linked a companion PDF below to help you assess which relationships are adding to your life and which ones may be costing you more than they're worth. We are not leaving our lives to chance. We are choosing deliberately by intent. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and I will see you in the next one.